New titles, new roles, and more importantly, it's all changed, not just at Buckingham Palace, but within the British royal household. But what does it all mean? Well, we have brand new titles for, of course, the Prince and Princess of Wales. And now we can honestly say that the Queen Consort, Camilla, is now the highest ranking and most senior member of the British monarchy. Now, as you know, way back earlier this year, when our wonderful monarch was still with us, she decreed the fact that she wished people to be known and support Queen Camilla as the Queen Consort. Charles has carried this forward, King Charles, I must point out, and more importantly made sure that his Queen has very much the same power as indeed his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, did have. So what really does it mean for Camilla and the rest of the royals? Well, the biggest change really is the fact that they're now going to be working a lot harder. That is the bigger story. The bottom line really is this, that they've all taken on much more charitable work and much more demands within royal circles. This is really all down to Megxit. It may seem strange, but you see, when two senior people did decide to leave the British monarchy, that left a lot of gaps. Now, as we've seen, the Princess Royal stepping up and doing even more, even though she's the hardest working royal that we obviously see every single year. But also we've had bigger impact from the Earl and Countess of Wessex, Sophie and Edward, most recently at the British Royal Variety Performance. But now, even though Catherine is a young mother with three very young children, she's going to have to work even harder. This is because she has a brand new title. Amongst her many other titles as the Princess of Wales, has now become the Chief of the Grenadier Guards in Ireland, the Irish Grenadier Guards. And it's all changed for the Prince of Wales, and rightly so. He now becomes Colonel-in-Chief of the Welsh Grenadier Guards, reaffirming his dedication, connection, and more importantly, the fact that he is now, obviously, the Prince of Wales. But it's Camilla that truly wields the most power. And as we've seen over the last few months, her hard work and dedication has finally paid off, because she's taken over a very senior role from another senior royal, the former royal known as Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. But what is it? Camilla has this brand new title of the Colonel-in-Chief of the Grenadier Guards, a very important role within the British monarchy. And it was one that was actually penciled in for the now former royal known as, of course, Prince Harry, who's decided to resign over in Montecito and remove himself from British royal life. A lot of palace insiders tell me that this would be the particular role that would thoroughly hurt him on a personal level, as we know through his dedication to his former army career. It was one area of British royal life that he truly did embrace. And of course, for Prince Harry to find out that his stepmother, Camilla, has taken on a role that he knew was set to be penciled in for him, surely has got to hurt. So where does this leave the former senior royal, the Duke of York, formerly known, of course, as Prince Andrew? Well, sadly for him, and according to the new rules of Buckingham Palace, very much sidelined and out in the cold. What we're seeing this Christmas, though, is a return to the fold of none other than the Duchess of York, for the first time in 20 years, being formally invited to Christmas with the royals out in Sandringham. That's right. Now, of course, she will be escorted by the former royal known as Prince Andrew, her ex-husband. This is going to create something of a frosty mood around the festive Christmas table, because he had to relinquish those titles under the former reign of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, while he fights a private civil law case against various people in the United States. People are saying, though, will he ever make a full-time return to royal life? Well, not according to good palace sources, and particularly not under the reign of King Charles III. King Charles III apparently sees that his younger brother has thoroughly disgraced himself, and that the public do not wish to see him, sadly, back in the royal fold. Of course, this can all change. When you look back, we also had a very similar situation with Prince Andrew's wife, the Duchess of York. And as we now just pointed out, she's now back in the royal fold, formally being invited back to Christmas with the royals. So while they may put out a public statement, don't rule out the return of the former royal known as Prince Andrew at some point in the future. So fabulous news to report about the Trooping of the Colour. It's the annual event that everybody looks forward to over here in the United Kingdom. It's the official birthday of the monarch. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the reason why we have two birthdays is their original birth date and then, of course, the official birth date, which was started way over 150 years ago. And this was seen as the King George's idea of the time of making sure that the British public, first and foremost, could see the reigning monarch. But while his birthday was in November, he felt that people would not come out and celebrate so much. So his unofficial birthday, if you like, was decided to be moved to the summer. And King Charles III is keeping that particular tradition. Leave the royals in today's world? Well, as I say, this sends a very big signal out to all senior members of the British monarchy that under King Charles's reign, you're certainly going to be working a lot harder for your money. And this is all to do with the fact that King Charles himself wished, of course, to slim down the monarchy, as we've now seen. But those that are in the pivotal part of the British working monarchy, then they will be working hard for their money, seen out more visibly, and more importantly, celebrating and supporting all those wonderful charitable works that they have their names attached to. As for King Charles himself, he's stated already that in 2023, he wishes to become more visionary, more out there, meeting the people, his public, and making sure that they are well connected, seeing exactly the good works that the British monarchy have done, particularly after a year when seemingly they've had nothing but bad press, nothing but grief. And of course, in the world of King Charles, it's been a very tough year for so many people. Over here in the United Kingdom, we truly celebrate the British monarchy and for many see the very good works that they do, despite all of those backstabbing videos and of course docu-series from the other side of the pond in America.